Today we are going to see the chapter study of transistor, under which we are going to see the transistor configuration. This concept today we are going to see. We already saw transistor, what is transistor, and it is a 3-terminal device. And now in order to use transistor as an amplifier, we need to configure the transistor in a particular way. So how exactly it can be done, that today we are going to see. So dear students, previously we already saw what is transistor. As we know, it is a 3-terminal device, that is emitter, base and collector. Here a NPN type of transistor is shown, in which this is emitter. We know that emitter region is heavily doped region. Then this is a base. It is a very small region and it is lightly doped. And third one, the largest area of the region, it is collector. So this way transistor is formed. So in this case we can see that basically this is emitter and base, that is this N and P is one diode, this P and N is another diode. So this way the two diodes are connected back to back. So this is N, this is P and this is N. So we see here it is, in case of diode we have only one junction, but in case of transistor we see there are two junctions, that is emitter base junction, that is junction J1 we call it, and base collector, it is junction J2. So here obviously in order to use this transistor we need to make certain connections. So in this case, in case of transistor there are two, input side needs 2 terminals and output side also needs 2 terminals, but actually there are only 3 terminals, that is emitter, base and collector. So one of them is used as a common terminal to remaining other terminals. This way the configuration or connection of transistors are used for their operation. Okay. So we already saw, as this is a transistor, there are 4 possible ways of biasing the transistor. So look here carefully, that this is P and N. So this is emitter and base, and here it is base and collector. So in this configuration we have selected base as a common terminal. So base is connected through this battery to emitter also, and through this battery to collector also. So base is common. So this is called as a common base configuration of the transistor. So that one important thing. So obviously here we are using 2 batteries. So there are 4 possible ways of biasing. So here in this case you see that this is P-type material connected to positive, means this emitter and base junction is made forward bias, whereas here if you observe the P is connected to negative, that means base collector junction is made reverse bias. So the 4 possible ways are, this is emitter base forward, base collector also forward. Second, this is forward, this is reverse. Third is this is reverse, this is forward. And fourth one is both are reverse. But when both are reverse, so remember that in that case this junction will be reverse bias, this junction will be reverse bias, and very small leakage current will flow in this region only, that means in this diode as well as this diode, and no charges will flow from emitter to collector, that you remember. So that kind of configuration is just working as a cutoff region that we are going to see soon. So if both 2 junctions are made forward bias, then a large amount of current will flow and which will saturate the transistor, so that transistor will work in a saturation region. So that is also normally not used Now here we see that emitter base junction is made forward bias and base collector junction is made reverse bias. This configuration is normally used because of, in this configuration the transistor works in an active region and any applied small signal can be amplified. So as from figure we see that here it is, we know that this is emitter current which is entering the emitter and some part is leaving as a IB and some part as a IC. We already saw that is I is equal to IB plus IC. But as base is very lightly doped, a very small portion, that is about 5% of the IE passes through IB and almost 95% or more than that current passes through collector current. So here we see that emitter base junction, as emitter base junction is forward bias, remember that when diode is in forward bias its resistance is very low. So emitter base junction resistance is very low. And here if you observe collector and base, you will see that it is reverse bias, and in case of reverse bias the resistance is very high. So now we should concentrate that whatever current IE flows through first junction which has a very low resistance more than 95, that means if let us consider if IB is equal to 0, that means almost 100% of the same current flows through collector. So current is flowing from lower resistance region to higher resistance region, and this way we can say it is taking part in amplification. So base emitter junction offers nearly very high resistance that we saw. Now let us consider some parameters of transistor. So before starting the actual configuration, so what are the basic parameters which are important for understanding the concept of transistor and their uses. So here it is, transistor specification parameters. First one is construction, that we already saw. There it is, two types of material which are normally used, that is silicon and another one is germanium. So based on this material the transistors are prepared. But now here according to construction when we talk, that means whether N layer is sandwiched between two P regions or P region is sandwiched between two N region. So on the basis of this the transistors are categorized, and that is PNP transistor and NPN transistor. Now material used. So here we already saw we can use silicon, we can use germanium, but we already saw that concept of energy gap. So normally silicon is cheaper, it is used. So based on which material is being used for construction of transistor, so that is another specification parameter. The silicon transistors are just like, for example, BC147, BC100, etc. And some of the transistors are made by germanium material, like AC125, AC127. So this is second criteria or parameter. So third one is power transistor and small signal transistor. So remember that function of transistor is to deliver the power at the output, that we are going to see, because of amplifier takes input, amplifies it and gives output. So how much power is delivered at the output, on the basis of that it is categorized. So in case of low power, this category low, the low power transistors, the power transistors designed for low power category, the power dissipation is up to 0.3 watt only. So for example BC147 is a low power dissipation transistor. So another one is medium power dissipation transistor, that is the power dissipated is between 0.3 watt to 3 watt, and examples are transistors like SL100, SK100, they are used as a medium power dissipator transistors. And some transistors are there which gives very high power, that is that category means whose power is greater than 3 watt. So here the transistor 3055 is a power transistors. So this way, on the basis of power, the transistors are categorized. So then now we are going to see the transistor configuration. So we already saw transistor has 3 terminals that we know and 2 ports, that is a input port and output port. So remember that, henceforth remember that if this is a transistor and if we want it acts as an amplifier, so we know that one terminal is common, and here suppose this is base. So if base and emitter is common, so we are going to connect input between base and emitter. So this is input side, and here we are going to take output. So output between collector and emitter in case of common emitter. So here it is output side. So there are 2 ports, that is input port and output port. So second one is, here we see that one of the terminal is taken common. So here in common emitter amplifier, emitter is common to connected to base also, and emitter is connected to collector also. So which terminal is taken as a common terminal on the basis of the transistor has 3 configuration, that is common base configuration, common emitter configuration and common collector configuration. So today we are going to see the circuits related to this common base, common emitter and common collector, and how are they exactly functioning and how are they biased. That is important thing to study. So see, in the most important thing you should remember that in all configuration, emitter base junction must be forward bias and collector base junction must be reverse bias. So never forget this if you want to use transistor in an active region and want to amplify the signals at the input to the output. So remember that emitter base junction in all configuration is always forward bias and base collector junction is always reverse bias. So now we are going to see common base configuration. So we know that arrow indicates it is emitter, this is collector and this is base. So remember that this is emitter, this is collector and this region is base region. Now here it is, base is connected to emitter also and base is connected to collector also. Now for understanding, remember one thing, that emitter base junction must be forward bias. So by observing the arrow you can understand that this transistor is NPN transistor. In case of, see, remember that if this is a transistor, if arrow of the emitter is pointed inside, that is PNP transistor, but here arrow is pointed outside, so this is NPN transistor. And to make base emitter junction forward bias, it is necessary that N terminal should be connected to battery negative and P terminal should be connected to battery positive. So this way we can say this is the first junction, emitter base is made forward bias. So normally when we talk about this battery is connected between base and emitter. So remember, normally the concept is this, that when we are connecting this battery between base and emitter, so here instead of saying VEB, we wrote here VBE, because of this first terminal to be written here is where the higher potential is connected. So between this emitter and base, higher potential is connected to base, so this also can be treated as a VBE. That is one concept for the nomenclature that you should understand. So here Same time here we have written VEE and VCC. What is that? We are going to see. So suppose if there is no resistance here at the input side, whatever the voltage here VEE applied, that will appear across base and ammeter. So VEE is equal to VB, but in fact there are some input resistances and etc. So the voltage across ammeter and base is VBE, and the battery which is connected to ammeter, so it can be written as VEE. Similarly, if you look at the output port, so this is input port to which we are going to apply the signal at the input, which is to be amplified at the output. So when this signal will be connected, the transistor will function as an amplifier, and so that the amplified signal will be available at the across collector resistance RC, that you know. So this is second port, that is called as the output port. So in this case, remember that this is base, this is collector, but this junction must be reverse bias. So we know that this is N, this is P. So to make this N reverse bias, negative N region should be connected to positive polarity and P region should be connected to negative polarity. So this way we can treat this voltage as VCE. So collector emitter voltage, that you remember, that means whatever voltage will appear across this, that will be VCE. Again we are writing C here first because of that is the collector terminal is at higher potential, remember that. And here the main battery which is connected to collector, so it is written as VCC. So that we saw. Now we already know that IE is equal to IB plus IC. So if you look here, remember that why the arrows are shown this way. See, this is battery positive terminal. Conventional current direction is always from positive to negative. So emitter current flows in this direction, base current flows in this direction. Similarly here this is positive, so conventional current direction is this. So current starts to flow from higher potential to lower potential, so this is IC. So IC is coming in this way, IB is coming in this way, so from these two terminals, and the total current IE goes in this direction. So we should remember that relation I is equal to IB plus IC. So this is the case in which we saw this is NPN transistor, and you understood how the batteries are connected. So let us consider this is again base is common, but here the arrow is inward, and so this transistor is called as a PNP transistors. So this is P type material region, this is N and this is P. So again to make, this is base, this is emitter and this is collector. To make base emitter junction forward bias, now here in this case P should be connected to positive and N, base region N, should be connected to negative. Okay, so obviously voltage appearing across this terminal will be V, though we call it base emitter voltage, but we can say VEB. So here normally the method is accepted. So see here it is IE, because of E is at higher potential, and here the battery VE is connected. Similarly, this base and collector region is made reverse bias. When P region is connected to negative and N region is connected to positive, this region is reverse bias. Now the direction of current in this circuit will be this, like this. So again here it is positive 2, so conventional current direction will be like this. So that is why in this case, remember that IE is shown in this direction, then IB. So what will be the direction of IB? So here if you observe this, so IB will be in this direction, this is IC, and again IE is equal to IB plus IC. So these are the way batteries are connected. Conventional direction of current is considered. Okay, so direction of current that you understood, and what is the concept of VBE, VEB, that also you understood. Now let us consider if this transistor is being used as an amplifier. So what is the current amplification factor in this circuit that we are going to see? So remember that amplification means, suppose this is input signal, it has certain amplitude, this is an amplitude, and when it goes through amplifier, its signal strength may be increased, so that amplitude is increased. So it depends on what configuration we are using, whether it is current amplifier or voltage amplifier. But suppose this is 1 volt, and let us consider suppose this is 2 volt, then output is 2 times the input, and so this is basically an amplification. Okay, so here input current is IE and current through base is IB and IC. So in case of common base amplifier or configuration, we are going to see it amplifies the current at the output. So what is current amplification factor? So current amplification factor means if there it is a change in IE at the input side, there is corresponding change in IC at the output side, and so the current amplification factor factor is denoted by alpha, and remember that this alpha is nothing but the change in output current to the change in input current. But look in the figure, the output current is basically IC and input current is IE. So we can say that is a change, that is delta in IC to the delta change in emitter current IE is basically a common base current amplification factor. But remember that this change is at constant, it is at constant collector base voltage. So remember that here if you are increasing the input signal and you are observing how much amplification is there, so you need to keep this constant, that we already saw the analogy. Okay, so that you remember that it is happening at constant VCB. Now we got that alpha is equal to delta IC upon delta IE. So we know that expression for collector current, we are going to see that how much is delta IC. So we already know one expression, that is del IE is equal to IB plus IC. but we know that collector base junction is reverse bias. So as this junction is reverse bias, a very small amount of current, that is called as a leakage current, flows through this. So that is ICBO. So here it is, we know that I is equal to IB plus IC, but leakage current ICBO flows through the output circuit or collector, that you remember that. So here leakage current that we already saw, remember that whenever diode is reverse bias, due to minority carriers some amount of current flows. So now this is reverse bias, so that amount of current is already flowing. So we already saw I is equal to IC plus IB, so plus that additional current is there, and so that is what we are talking about, leakage current ICBO, and this is called as a reverse. So now see here, it is collector current between collector and base. This O stands for the reverse current which is flowing when base emitter junction is open. That means no source is connected to this. That means here when no signal is there at the input, so that means input terminals are open, and whatever the amount of quantity is flowing in this output port or collector current, that is called as a ICBO. So now here we know that IC is equal to alpha times IE. So where from we have taken it? We know that alpha is equal to IC upon IE, that we just saw the current amplification factor. So here it is, IC is equal to alpha IE plus this reverse saturation current ICBO. So now from this we can say, we know that I is equal to what? IB plus IC. So therefore this IC is equal to alpha into, we can write IB plus IC, putting IE from this equation, plus ICBO. So now here we can say that is IC is equal to alpha times IB plus alpha times IC plus ICBO. So now this term is brought to left, that is IC minus alpha IC, that is equal to alpha IB plus ICBO. So here we are taking IC common, that is IC into 1 minus alpha is equal to alpha times IB plus ICBO, or from this we can say that is IC is equal to alpha divided by this 1 minus alpha into this IB plus ICBO divided by this 1 minus alpha, and we get this relation of the collector current in case of common base circuit. So now remember that collector current is related to base also, and collector current is related to reverse saturation current also. So we know that alpha is equal to what? That is the relation between input current and output current, that is IB and IC. So obviously this IE and IB plays very important role in deciding the collector current. So if there is a change in IE, there will be a change in IC. If there is even change in IB, there will be a change in IC. So we can say that this collector current can be controlled by controlling either IB or even controlling the emitter current IE. And note that ICBO is very small. In some cases we can neglect it, so this term becomes zero. And today we are going to see